IoT Unplugged, where we talk to industry leaders, innovators, and major players in the Internet of Things, bringing you the best and latest insights. Tune in to learn more. In this episode, Ian Televik, Marketing Director of the Car Connectivity Consortium, provides me with the lowdown into their digital key certification, which focuses on future-proofing vehicle access using smart devices. Hi Ian, thank you so much for joining me on the IoT Unplugged podcast today.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
So could you start us off by talking about who you are and what you do?
Yeah, absolutely. So I am Ian Televik, and I am the Marketing Director for the Car Connectivity Consortium, or CCC. And the CCC is a global standards development organization or technology alliance made up of over 300 member companies across the globe. These are the vast majority of the world's largest vehicle companies, smart device manufacturers, tier one suppliers, and technology companies. And our member companies come together and collaborate to develop global technology standards and certification programs, in this case, within the area of vehicle connectivity.
And just out of interest, how long has the CCC been going for?
The CCC has been around for about 12 years now. And has been working on a number of different areas within vehicle connectivity. Originally working on technology standards for mirroring your smartphone on your vehicle dash, and then more recently has been maturing and developing the standard for your digital car key or phone as a key functionality,
which we will get onto in a little bit. But before we kind of get ahead of ourselves there, I think it would be really interesting to have a look at the vehicle connectivity landscape. I mean, you just mentioned the consortium was set up 12 years ago. Is that right?
Yep.
12 years ago. So, kind of in that time, how has vehicle connectivity evolved? How mature would you say the infrastructure is? What are your thoughts on that?
Yes, it's really an exciting time for connected vehicles. Right now, there's just a lot of momentum in the adoption and the proliferation of connected vehicles across the globe. So, one stat I like to point to is McKinsey. References that by 2030, it's expected 90% of vehicle sales globally, those vehicles will be connected vehicles, and compares to about 50% today. And so you're just seeing the adoption and the proliferation of connected vehicles really in every asset. It's passenger cars on the commercial side, and there's really an opportunity here to leverage the connectivity opportunities to create these technology standards in the case of CCC, so that there's a focus on really stronger interoperability, security, and ultimately a better consumer experience for their connected vehicle experience.
Certainly something I've noticed when we look at it from like an IoT perspective is that the automotive industry is one that is very open to adopting new things, and certainly you could argue with some cases, certainly with connectivity, it's an early adopter. It's very willing to take it on and take that challenge on.
Absolutely, and the automotive industry and just think about it from a consumer experience and how much time is spent in their vehicle and the upfront investment to purchase vehicles in the first place. It's a real center for an opportunity to leverage connected technologies, again, all in the aim of improving the consumer experience.
So when we talk about in-vehicle connectivity, I think it would be good to maybe define it a little bit. What is it that you're looking at? What are some of the use cases?
Absolutely. So the CCC's vision, I think, is a really good place to start. And the CCC as an organization, aims to be the trusted source for connecting vehicles with devices and the world to improve the consumer experience. And we're very specific about using those words within our vision because the definition of a vehicle and a device in this example is broad. And it might not just necessarily be a passenger car, and a device might not necessarily just be a smartphone. But the idea is, that hub and spoke visualization of vehicle in the center and connected to different devices and how it's communicating and how they're operating together. So this digital key example, is really connecting vehicles with smartphones and smart devices. But really it expands beyond that to wearables, to automated electric vehicle chargers, to vehicle to smart home, and really the opportunity is endless in connecting vehicles to different devices.
But are there any kind of specific examples you could speak to that would, yeah, that would help?
Absolutely. So, our main technical standard and specification that our members have been working on is the CCC digital key, and it's all about vehicle access. And in this case, connecting vehicles to smart devices so that the consumer has passive, easy access to get in their vehicle with no need for a physical key, no need for a key fob, and it's using their smartphone effectively as their digital key. And so our membership has been working on this to create really a secure solution, a secure technology standard, an interoperable standard. So it doesn't matter the brand or the operating system of your smart device; it'll work, including I have let's say I have an iOS device and I want to share my digital key with a family or friend who has an Android device. And this technical specification allows for that cross-platform key sharing. And so that digital key specification, the CCC digital key specification, is really all about offering a secure and interoperable phone as a key solution for consumers.
Which is probably a good segue to talk a little bit more about the program that you're running with your members. To get a look at the history, where did this idea come from that you could use your phone to unlock your car?
Yeah, absolutely. So, as a technology consortium, everything we do is driven by our membership. And so, like I said, over 300 companies across the globe have come together. They put forth use cases and ideas. And as a membership, they decide on what we're going to actually build standards for going forward. And so the CCC digital key specification has really been at the forefront of the momentum and the enthusiasm for our membership community. So there's millions of vehicles on the road and smart devices in people's pockets that are built. The digital key is actually built on the CCC digital key specification now. And so really it was recognizing the importance and the ubiquitousness of wanting that kind of seamless vehicle access, especially the fact that everyone has a smart device in their pocket, and using it as that digital key and ensuring that it's secure and again interoperable was really the focus from our membership, and it's been very successful going forward now, and seeing the implementations roll out, and like I said, the actual units in operation on the road today.
You touched upon interoperability, which makes complete sense, right? You don't want ultimately an end user to be excluded because of the phone they have, the car they have, but that's a really big challenge on your hands, right? To make sure that it isn't interoperable and it can scale to, I don't know how many vehicles are on the road. I'm not going to quote a figure.
Absolutely, and that's what we found for our members, right there. The one approach is to go and develop, your own proprietary solution. And if you're a car company developing your proprietary app-based or whatever digital car key solution, there is a significant amount of resource investment, time investment, having to work with the different players in the ecosystem and suppliers and smart device manufacturers. And so our membership recognized that there's an opportunity to build this global technology standard. And while, yes, it takes a lot of upfront investment and collaboration, the benefits are exponential compared to the investment itself. And so, as a consumer, our member companies recognize that they want a solution that works, and they especially want a solution that is secure and protects data and privacy and so on. And so, that really is the recognition from our membership that it's worth this effort to build this global standard, so that no matter where you are in the world, no matter the vehicle you're driving, no matter the smart device you have in your pocket, it's going to work, and it's going to work as expected.
Hearing you talk sort of reminds me of And they're not exactly comparable, but it reminds me of just, NFC technology, where without thinking today, you can pay using your phone, you can pay using your smartwatch, and obviously a lot of work and a lot of R&D went into that to make it a seamless experience, and probably not something the end user thinks about. I definitely don't think about it, but I think it's kind of comparable in the sense that it sounds like this is a digital key you're looking to make widespread to the point where an end user will unlock their phone with their phone without even thinking about it.
Absolutely. And in fact, the CCC digital key specification includes NFC technology in addition to ultra wideband and Bluetooth low energy. So on the NFC side of things, it allows you to use your phone to tap to unlock or tap to start the vehicle. And the Bluetooth and the UWB implementation allows for passive entry and passive vehicle start, so that you don't even have to take the phone out of your pocket. So again, I think this goes back to the value of having our membership come together and bring the different perspectives from the different aspects of the technology and the use cases from both the enterprise side and the consumer side, so that building the solution. So on the CCC digital key, you have not only different user experience opportunities, if you want to tap, if you want to just leave it in your pocket as you approach and it passively unlocks the car, but also it's redundant technologies. So if, let's say, your smart device runs out of battery, the NFC still works and allows you to tap and has that backup, so you're not stuck. And so this really, I think, is a great example of the benefit of having a global standard and having the collaboration across these hundreds of companies.
So I understand this year that you announced Bluetooth Low Energy and ultra wideband technologies are going to be part of the digital key. So it would be great to hear a little bit more about that and sort of hear what the significance of it is.
Absolutely. So as the CCC, we effectively have two products. Let's call them. The first product as a technology consortium is the specification itself. So the CCC digital key spec includes the three technologies: NFC, ultra wideband, and Bluetooth low energy. But our second kind of product is certification program. And this not only allows, or what this does is this empowers our members to go and get their implementation certified to verify that they actually are meeting the interoperability and the security requirements that are included in the specification itself. And so we actually launched our certification program in late 2023. And that first iteration of the certification program was certifying for the NFC aspect of the digital key specification. And then just recently, we increased the coverage of our certification program to certify for also the UWB and the BLE aspects of it. And so now our member companies are able to go through the certification and be able to actually use, the certification mark on their products themselves, on their collateral and communications, to say that not only have they implemented the CCC specification, but they're certified to prove interoperability and security requirements.
I'm presuming here as well that integrating those technologies into the program, it just makes it easier to work with, to kind of simplify it.
Absolutely. It just further reiterates the member companies adherence to and dedication to making sure that it is the proper implementation and that it's secure, it's interoperable, and all of that that's associated with implementing and complying with the CCC spec.
So since the program was launched, are there any customer case studies that you can talk about that reflect the value of doing so, I suppose?
Yep, absolutely. So middle of last year, we announced our first two member companies that went through the certification program, BMW Group and NXP Semiconductors. And in the BMW example, they actually certified their vehicles for the CCC digital key. and NXP certified its digital key applet security modules that actually reside in the secure element of the smartphone. So, and we have a number of our member companies going through certification now. But those are kind of the two key initial certified members that went through the process last year.
And that sounds like it speaks to having everyone involved in the supply chain that would need to be involved, from a vehicle manufacturer to a semiconductor company.
Exactly. So our certification program, we have a number of different implementations that we certify for. So it can be a vehicle, right? In the case of BMW Group, it can be a what we call an end user device or a smart device being certified. And then there's a number of modules that can go through certification, like in the case of NXP, the digital key applet that resides in the secure element on a phone, and a number of other modules that we offer certifications for. And the key here is that in all of these different implementations that we certify, it all goes back to part of the ecosystem, part of the CCC digital key specification that ensures that they're meeting the interoperability and the security requirements.
As a member-driven organization, as I think you alluded to earlier, have you received any feedback from members who've been part of the program that have been instrumental in shaping the development of the digital key?
Absolutely. So, it really is a collaborative effort, and not only are member companies collaborating, offline and working on a daily basis on further refining and enhancing the specification and the certification programs, but we also host quarterly global members meetings where our membership is sending representatives, in person. We're coming together for a week at a time and working through the different areas and working groups, in person, live. And so the collaboration is key and is really one of the differentiators for CCC in how our member companies really are leaning in and helping to drive this. And they're bringing, like I said earlier, they're bringing their unique perspectives in the ecosystem and within the industry to bring new use cases and new ways to adapt and enhance the specification, or frankly, even to look at developing ground up new specifications for different use cases. So a couple examples that our membership is discussing right now is how do we evolve or adapt the CCC digital key specification for motorbikes and scooters, and considering the proliferation of two-wheel vehicles across the world, there and similarly with the owners and riders of those vehicles having smart devices in their pockets. How do we build a similar specification for that specific use case? We're also moving quickly in the direction of fleet management, and our membership is discussing and bringing use cases around the ideas of car rental use cases. And if I'm a consumer, let's say I'm a consumer in the U.S. and I use a CCC digital key for my current vehicle, and now my family, we're going on vacation in Europe, and I don't have to go up to the rental car agency. They can actually provision me a digital key directly to my smart device, so I go straight to the vehicle and it passively unlocks and so on. And so in car rental, in rideshare applications across the world, and then even looking into commercial fleets and managing vehicle access among the different drivers for those types of fleets, and then even going into municipalities and city fleets and buses and stuff like that. So our membership is constantly bringing new ideas to the table and looking for ways to enhance and adapt the current specifications, but then also exploring new areas to build technical specs to.
I understand it's an ongoing program, and obviously you're still exploring some of the things you just spoke about. But one thing perhaps we haven't fully fleshed out yet is security. I mean, you've touched upon it already. You've said that data security is paramount. You have to think about the privacy, protecting data. And so I'm just curious to know what are the protections in place that make sure that the digital key isn't something that can be stolen and then used to unlock someone's car like a physical key would.
Absolutely. And data privacy and security is really one of the core pillars of the CCC and what we are always working toward. And it's an absolute area of focus and priority for our membership and in everything that we do. And one example of that is the CCC digital key specification last year received certification from the German Federal Agency for Information Security, the BSI, as it's known. And we spent a lot of time going through that certification process, making sure that we met the requirements of the BSI agency, and are the only digital key app to hold that certification through BSI. Another example is just the way that the digital key specification has been developed is all about security and data privacy. And so that's actually one of the reasons that this specification builds on putting the digital key on the secure element within your smart device. So it's not app based. It's actually lives on your hardware on your smart device itself. And I always liken it to if you as a consumer you're comfortable putting your credit card on your phone's digital wallet and trusting the data privacy and security, it's the same for this digital car key. So one actual real world output of this approach for this specification is around helping to minimize the risk of relay attacks. And it's become an increasing problem in recent years where thieves are able to replicate the key fob. Maybe it's overnight, you have a key fob in your home, but it's close to the vehicle, and they can use the devices to replicate the signal and break into your vehicle and take it. And so this CCC digital key spec really helps to counteract that risk of the key fob and relay attacks by the NFC and the different technology implementations. So really the point of all of this is to reiterate that data privacy and security is at the core of what CCC is doing.
Great. So with everything we've spoken about, Ian, what does the future look like for the CCC? What are the things that you're hoping to achieve in the coming years, this year, 3 years,
Absolutely. So I would say in the short term, it's really all about continuing our certification program and seeing more and more cars on the road and smart devices in people's pockets that are actually showing the certification mark, the digital key mark that proves that what they're using has been certified by CCC. So that's a big area of focus for our organization and our members themselves too. And then going longer term, it's really about our membership, and they are bringing these innovative ideas and use cases to the group so that we continue to innovate and build these specifications and certification programs to meet the needs of consumers and kind of keep pace and to your earlier point, kind of be ahead of the curve on vehicle connectivity in different use cases around the world.
Well, I look forward to the day where I can unlock my car with my phone, because I got very excited just having a car with air conditioning. I used to drive a really old vehicle, so it'll be really cool to see that manifest in the future. Before we finish, Ian, is there anything else you want to mention to our listeners?
I think just reiterating that the vision of the Car Connectivity Consortium being all about connecting vehicles with devices in the world to improve the consumer experience. And it's really the success has been due to the hard work of our member companies across the globe who are constantly looking for ways to innovate and are strategically thinking about how to make these global standards. And there's so much value in building a global standard and building on that compared to trying to build a proprietary solution, and it benefits the industry and benefits consumers in the end. So really exciting stuff going on at CCC, and welcome any of your listeners to check us out and learn more about it at carconnectivity.org and learn more about what we're doing.
Great. Well, thank you so much for joining me and for sharing some of what it is that you've been up to.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
IoT Unplugged.